Hello, and welcome back to Productive Dragons channel, where we do unboxes, plan with me's, and other things. And if you like that, please consider subscribing. Today, I'm doing my November reading wrap up. Want to see what I read? Come join me. So, in the month of November, I read, quote, 15 books. I did do two readathons. I did Once Upon a Readathon, and also I signed up. I tried to do the Nostalgic November. I wanted to do a blackout on the Nostalgic November. It didn't happen, but I did complete the Once Upon a Readathon. I think for the Nostalgic November, I got at least one line. But hey, I tried and I just couldn't do it. So, without further ado, let's go through the books that I read. First book I read was Once More Upon a Time, which was for the research the history of the apple tree for Once Upon a Readathon. I got all points for it, plus the hard mode. This was a library book. It was an ebook, and it was young adult fantasy. It was an interesting retelling, and I gave it 4 stars. It was something that I normally wouldn't read, but for this readathon, I thought, why not push the boundaries? So the next book I read was The Wolf and the Woodsman by Avery Reed. I had both the physical and audio books for this one, both library. Um, it was a fiction fantasy. It was also an interesting telling from, I believe, a Russian point of view. Uh, this the narrator was really good. I enjoyed it. I had started reading it first and then got to the audiobook because I was having a little difficulties with the pronunciation. But all in all, it still ended up being a good book. I gave it 4 stars. The next book, which I was trying to read before it became non-debut, was The Gathering of the Companions to Help Along the Way. And that's the Daughter of the Moon Goddess for Once Upon a Readathon. I ended up getting this one, all 3, and the hard mode. This one was an interesting one. It is by Su Ling Tang. I also had the physical and audio book, and it's a fiction fantasy. I enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to reading the second book that came out in the month of November, which I hopefully will get a chance to pick it up. And but all in all, 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Something like I said, I normally don't gravitate to, but hey, why not? Next, I read Farmhand, Volume 3, Root of All Evil. It was from the library. It is a graphic novel, and it's a horror. I read this for my tic-tac-toe board for graphic novel. I was actually thinking this was also going to finish the series because I started it last month, and I really enjoyed it. It was interesting. However, it isn't finished, so I could only use it for the graphic novel, and I'm hoping that my library will get Volume 4 next, and hopefully that will complete the series. Until then, I'll have to wait for that because they have a few more chapters, and I think it'll be done. We'll see. Next, I listened to White Horse by Erica T. Worth. This was a NetGalley. I was approved for it. I'm very thrilled that I was approved for it. It is a fiction horror. I enjoyed it. It is a 5-star for me. This was great. I cannot wait to get it. I believe I will be getting the book this month because I think Nightworms is going to be sending us the book, and I was thrilled to be able to read it or listen to it. And it had a great narrator to it, and I enjoyed it. It was very interesting. It was horror, so I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to anyone. Next, I read The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I read that for the Once Upon a Readathon, which was Quest for the Apple Tree. I got all 3 of those and the hard mode for that. I also read that for the Witches or Magical Elements for the Nostalgic November. That one I gave a 4.5. Uh, it's a uh, it's going to be starting a series, which is very interesting. This is a retelling of the 1001 Nights, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I own it. I was listening to the audio, so from the library. It's like I said, it is start of a series. I got my volume. My book came from Book of Month Club. It was really good. I enjoyed it. So basically, I can't wait to see what the next book comes out as, because it ended pretty interesting. So I'm kind of wondering how they're going to complete this. Next, I read Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Um, that was a library book as well as a audio. It is a fiction fantasy. I believe I used that as my one word title in my tic-tac-toe board. That was a quite interesting start of the series. I also used it as the Once Upon a Readathon, the last one, which was Climb the Apple Tree to Acquire the Fruit. That was the last one we had to do in the Once Upon a Readathon. It ended up being a really good one. It's also part of a series. I believe book 3 will be coming out this. It's already come out or going to be coming out next year. But yeah, this is the first book in the series by V.E. Schwab. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. I will continue this series. This is one of the series I ended up wanting to continue. So this one was the last thing that I did for the Once Upon a Readathon. It's now done, completed. Yay! So I am hopefully, like I said, I will continue this series. Next, I did Shiver by Jun Ito. This was a library book. It's a graphic novel, horror. I've enjoyed. This is the second one by him. I wanted to get this one in October, but it wasn't available, so I got it in November because I really wanted to see how much further this guy will go. And it was really interesting. Some of these pictures you see on this cover is some of the stories, and it was just like, OMG. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. There was a couple things that I just, but all in all, it was good. So if you really like horror and are enjoying, say, the, you would like that I would recommend him. Next, I read Just Like Mother by Anne Hazelwood. I own it, and I also listen to the audiobook from the library. This is a horror fiction. It is a cult, and I also did this for Nostalgic November for Dolls and Toys. It had to be on the cover, and as you see, it's a doll face. This was definitely a wild ride with cults. So this one I was a little surprised by the ending, but not much. So that wasn't. I gave it a 4-star. Next, I listened to The Goddess of Filth by V. Castro. It was read by Stacy Gomez. No, I'm sorry, Gonzalez. Sorry. It was a fiction horror. I read this or listened to it for female author and woman protagonist. This one I gave a 5-star. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was great. It was definitely interesting. I would love to read more from B. Castro. I am hoping to read a little bit more from her. Next was Scanlines. That also was for the Nostalgic November for old technology on the cover or in the story. This one has triggers. I will tell you right now. I got this as an ebook, and it is a fiction horror. I will tell you right now, it will tell you at the beginning this has triggers. It will warn you of the triggers. So, this, I knew what it was based on, and of the background story of it. And as you can tell, this is not a pretty picture. It's not something. I gave it a 4.5. I thought it was really well done, but there are parts of it you just go, And like I said, you have to be careful because of the triggers. So I used that for that one. Next, I've basically finished the series of The Clown in the Cornfield 2, Frito Lips. That is by Adam Shazer. It was read by Jesse Vinskin. I got the audiobook from the library. It's a fiction horror. This is the last book in the series. I knew that they were going to make a second book because of how the first book ended, which I read last month. This one, I ended up using it as the 6th, set around Halloween or Christmas. This is set around Halloween. So that one was there. I used it for my tic-tac-toe board as I actually used it for 2 things. Finish a series, that was one, and the second one was featuring a death, because I had a thing where I could use one book for 2 prompts, and that's what I did for my tic-tac-toe board. It was very interesting. I loved how he ended the story. I'm wondering if he's going to continue just how this end of this story happened. We'll have to see, but I don't think so. I haven't seen anything. Next, I did a non-fiction book, Crush It, by Gary Vaynerchuk. This was an audiobook. It was a business type deal. I used this for my tic-tac-toe board because I did the letter generator for A through Z, and it ended up being a C. So this was my book for that. It was actually interesting. I was surprised, and I gave it a 5 stars because it did give really good information. So that was something worthwhile. Next, I read the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires. Whew, by Grady Hendrix. This makes my 3rd book by him. Maybe 4th. I used this for retro or vintage mood read, which for the nostalgic November, because you had to read the 80s or 90s. This is set in the 90s. I gave it a 4 star. It wasn't too bad. I had flip-flop moments with the book a little bit, but other than that, it was pretty good. So yeah, that was the last book I did for that. And the last book I read for the month of November was Martha Wells' Fugitive Telemetry, which is part of the Murderbot Diary series. This is number 6. Number 7 should be coming out next year. I'm thrilled. I'm up to date. So right now I'm really thrilled. I gave it a 4 star. It was really interesting. I have been enjoying this series. Surprised that I haven't been into science fiction, but I thought, why not give this a shot and everything. Bingo bango. Yay, it worked. So yes, I turned around and did that. So without further ado, I'll put in the new TBR for the month of December. And here I go to past self. Okay, as you see, this is my tic-tac-toe board for the month of November. I managed to use 3 of my rewards. One back in August, which was double up by using 1 book for 2 prompts, which those are the Finish the Series and Features Death. I've explained which one that is. I used a freebie for the word generator, which has happened. And a person on the cover, I used the reward that I got in October. A friend can read a book for you, which I had a friend who did a person on the cover, and her book was Meet Cutie, the Hedgehog Incident. So that is what I have. So out of all this, I ended up reading 2 of my rewards here. So those are now gone. So I'm going to go and do the rewards first, like I always do. Since I got 4 tic-tac-toes, I will be doing 4 new prompts for rewards. I will come over here and change this because I now have 13 new rewards on here. If you guys can think of some more rewards, please put them down below. I'm curious. And we'll start off with the first one, which is 13. I'm pretty sure I know what this one is. Yep. The next one is 9. Rearrange prompts. Okay. Don't have that one. All right, good. Next one. 7. I just did that one, so we were going to refresh that to 4. I still have a freebie, so I think I'm going to readjust it again. So I think 1 is a freebie too. Yep, so let me readjust again. Nope. Nope. 6. Let's try 6. What? Oh, sorry. What was 6? Use 1 book from last month. Okay, that's good. We can do that. And this is number 3. Let's see here. Nope, I've already got swap a prompt already. I haven't used that, so I'm going to regenerate. Nope. 11. Oops, sorry. Double up one book, 2 prompts. We've already done that one, so let's... Oops, forgot I did that screwily. Let's generate again. Nope. Number 10. Let's see here. Okay. That seems to be suffice. Okay. So, there's the rewards. Shopping amount is $100. Shopping amount for $20. Rearrange prompts and use 1 book from last month. Okay, we've got those. All right, now let's start setting up the new generator. So this one now needs to go up to 130, because now I do have 130 prompts. So we are at number 61. Bad cover. 56. Start a series. 85. Beautiful cover. Okay. We have 16. A green cover. Okay, that should be interesting. 126. 2 plus person, 2 plus POV. 84. Continue a series. Didn't I just do these last month? Yeah, I did both continue a series and start a series. You know what? I'm just going to continue this. I'm just going to go ahead and continue, and because I did them last month, or yeah, the month prior, October. That is 500 pages, over 500 pages. Holy crap. 113. Summer. And 123. Something tells me no, we just did that one, so let's do 47. Oh, okay, Goodreaders winner. Okay, so we have bad cover, start a series, beautiful cover, green cover, 2 plus POV, continue a series, start over 500 pages, summer, and a Goodreads winner 2021 plus. And it'll just keep gunning. So that is going to be my book of my thing for next month, for the month of December. We'll see how we do. Now back to present me. We're back. I'll be doing my TBR a little different next year. I will not be having the random number generator. I will actually be having a spinning wheel that has numbers on it. And as soon as that number gets picked, it gets hidden. That way I have a variety of prompts that I can use from the whole year of 2023. There will be no repeating prompts. I think that would be best for me for right now. We'll see how well this works for next year. As far as everything else, what did you all think of my prompts? What do you think of the books I read? Did you like any of them? Did you disagree with me on some of the ratings? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video, and until next time, I hope you all are having a wonderful day.